Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Yesterday I showed you how to create Deadletter queues, Deadletter exchanges through the UI in RabbitMQ, and I also showed you how to create the Docker Compose file so you can easily set up or have your own RabbitMQ running. Tonight I'm going to show you how to do the exactly same just with Java instead. So that means that I have torn down the RabbitMQ from yesterday and pull it up again with Docker Compose down, Docker Compose up. And you can see here now I don't have any of the exchanges that we created yesterday. If you do not see yesterday's video, I would recommend you to see it because it was brilliant. I'm pretty humble about this, I know, but it was just brilliant. It told you all the theory behind a Deadletter exchange, Deadletter queue, how a message is being routed. Go see the other video if you haven't seen it already. But right now I'm going to show you how to create first of all queues, and then exchanges, and also Deadletter exchanges, Deadletter queues, and how to route and send a message to an exchange with Java. And I created a project right here. This is called RabbitMQ, Deadletter queue right here. And the only thing I have in my project right now is Docker Compose YML, which is the Docker Compose file. So I can actually have a RabbitMQ running on my local machine, and then I'm mapping out the ports to my local host right here. It is a Spring application, and I ticked off RabbitMQ and Lombok and web, as I also explained yesterday. But I'm not going to use any of the Spring parts. Actually, I'm going to create a main method. So let us just jump right into it. So let me RabbitMQ setup stuff. Let us just call it that. This is a new class added to Git. Thank you very much, IntelliJ. I'm going to write main. Then IntelliJ is going to help me again. This is a main method now. I can press play. I can do stuff in here. What I want to do is I want to create a new connection factory. A connection factory is something specific to RabbitMQ. And the reason why I actually have this class is because I have the RabbitMQ dependency in my build.gradle file. If you're using Maven, then you will have it in your maven.pom file instead, of course. But I have this starter AMQP right here. That is Spring's RabbitMQ, and they have wrapped also the primary libraries for handling RabbitMQ stuff. And in here we have the connection factory, which is right there. So I'm going to create a connection factory right there, connection factory, and then I'm going to get a new connection right here. So I have a connection to my new connection, and then but first of all I need to set the host. Let me just set that new connection, and I can actually set all of it in here. Connection factory dot. We should have the hosts. Where is my host? Where's my host? That is something I forgot, isn't it? Okay, new connection. But that is something I forgot here. Set host. And this is localhost. Okay, now my IntelliJ is just frozen. And this is because I'm running in a virtual box instead. It does that once in a while. Localhosts, the connection factory, dot set port, like this. This is 5672, the default port. Then we need to set some credentials. Set credentials, or is it set username? Right there, guest. And set password, also guest, like this. And now I should be able to create a new connection like this. And on this connection, okay, it can throw an exception, so we're just going to add this to our method signature. And then we start writing connection dots, and then we need a new channel, open channel, or create channel. And then this is the boilerplate code. So then now we have the channel, and now I can actually start to do stuff. I can actually say I can create a queue if that's what I want to do. The queue declare right here, and then I can have we can actually set a queue name. Let us create some constants right here. Private static, and then we say what should we say here? Queue name string queue name 1 equals, and then we can say just my q1. Let us also create some more constants. Let us create a Deadletter q, DL q name 1, and that could be my just DL q1, Deadletter q1. Then I want to create some exchange, and exchange could be exchange 1, and then be my exchange 1. Then maybe we also want a Deadletter exchange, DLX 1, and let us, instead of name 1, let us just say 1 here. Q1, DLQ1, exchange 1, DLX 1. So this is DLX, Deadletter exchange 1 that we want to create right here. So that's actually what we want to create. Almost, yeah, that's actually it. I was just thinking maybe we should also have a Deadletter routing key. Let us also create that actually. So we want a Deadletter routing key. Of course, I could also shorten that to RK. DL RK for Deadletter routing key. Then we can reuse that also. So let us go a bit down here and declare a queue. So we declare queue named q1, and then we say, is it durable? True. Yes, I want it to be durable. So that means that if I restart my server, it should still be there. So exclusive false, auto delete false, arguments. No arguments. Yeah, we actually need some arguments. False. Because we actually need, we need some arguments, because this is our Deadletter, this is all of the Deadletter settings that we need to set. So let me just create a new map right here, map string object. So this is our Deadletter queue settings, which exchange we route to, what is the timeout, what is the time to live on the queue, etc. So we need to set those things right here. So this is arguments equals new hash map right here. Hash map like that, and now we need the arguments, and the arguments need to be put like this, a string and then a value right here, and we can actually look them up by going to the RabbitMQ management, and then I just press Q right here. I say here's my queue, and then I can actually say message time to live. That's one of them. Then I'm going to copy this argument right here, paste it in there. They might also be as constant somewhere. I just don't remember where they are. So I'm going to write it in as a string right now. Then we want the Deadletter exchange. That's very important to copy. Paste right there. We need the Deadletter routing key. If you don't know what all these things are, then watch the video from yesterday that is named RabbitMQ with through the management UI. X Deadletter Q routing key. Yeah, that's right there, and that's actually it. We do not want a maximum length byte on. We do not want a maximum length on it. No, that's fine. I think we're happy right here. And this needs to be a number. It needs to be an integer. So let us just write 30 seconds. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. It was actually okay with 20 seconds yesterday. This is milliseconds, so I need to write 20,000. Deadletter exchange. Here I'm going to use a constant up here. Exchange 1. Oh, Deadletter DLX1. That's the one. Yeah. Deadletter exchange 1. This is the one we want to set to when we're timed out. And then the routing key, DL routing key. Let me write that right there. That is the routing key that we want to use. DLK, maybe we want to add something more, .test1 or something like that. Would also be another number. So that is arguments, and let me add arguments right here. Let us create the queue, and let us stop the connection when we're done right here. Connection.close right there. If the queue already exists, then let us delete it. So let us just delete it first before we create it. Then we delete it. Queue, remove queue, queue delete. That is delete, and then Q1 right there. So first we delete the queue if it already exists, and then we create a new one. We declare a new queue, and now I'm just closing the connection. I know we're not done yet. I just want to see that that it actually works before coding anything else. Let us see what happens. Actually, while we're waiting for it to start up the JVM, it should not take that long. Let us have some patience this time. Okay, so now there was actually no errors, so that is a good sign. Then let me go to my queues. Oh, here I have my Q1. I'll go to press this one, and here we can see the arguments that we added: Deadletter exchange, DLX1, and the timeout for 20 seconds, and the Deadletter routing key is right there. We do not have any exchanges yet. We have not created those. Wasn't that easy? It is so easy actually to integrate to RabbitMQ. Another reason why I love this product, and I'm not paid to say that. Just if you're wondering, I just really like it. I'm a huge fan. So, okay, so this was the connection. So now I'm actually going to put out the code somewhere. That's just what I'm wondering. Yes, we should. So let me just write public static, and then we need that channel there. I'm just going to write void and then get channel right here. Should actually be the connection factory we should get. So actually let us return the connection factory right here, because I want to use it in another method on another class actually in just a minute. That's why I want to create a generic version right here. Get connection factory, and we could lazy load it, couldn't we? Yes, let us lazy load it. So I'm going to declare it up here. Again, a static. I know it could be we've done this a little bit better, but now we're using static stuff. So equals null, and then we say if the connection factory equals null, then initialize it. This is lazy loading. Only load it if it's necessary. And set this, and then we return the connection factory like this. I'm going to take these two lines down here. I want those right here. And we say get connection factory. Get, what is that channel? Okay. It should be connection factory. Get CF. Get CF. Connection factory. Create a new connection. Yes, the exact same. Now we can then focus on, now we have created the queue right here. Let us create an exchange that matches this queue. So I'm going to say exchange declare right here. Declare, and we can also give it a type. So we say exchange, and we have some constants up in the top we can use for exchange as exchange1. Exchange1 right here. And the type is topic. It's topic, so we want to set it like topic. And if it exists already, we want to delete it, because else we cannot change all the properties around it. So exchange delete. Then we say exchange again, exchange1. So I start with deleting it, and then I create it, and then we need to bind the first queue to this exchange. So that means I write channel.exchange bind like this. Destination first, that is the Q1. And what else do we have? Then we have the source. That is the exchange we need to set there. So that is exchange1. And then we have the routing key. That is the routing key that we set. Routing key, this one right here. So that is the routing key. I'm going to add a little bit more plus, and then the pound key, or hashtag if you will. So that is the bind right there. And then when we are done, let us send a message to message. First of all, actually, let us. So that's the first exchange on queue. Now I want to copy all of this. Actually, let me just copy all of this because I want to create the Deadletter. I want to create the Deadletter queue. So now this is the DLQ Deadletter handling. So this is both the Deadletter exchange and queue. It's actually one line down. So here, from here, yes. Let me say Deadletter queue. DLQ1, DLQ1, and we do not have any arguments. I'll just write the new hash map right here, like this, and then I will say DLX1 right there. Delete that exchange, create new exchange. It's also topic, and the routing key. Okay, so this was actually the routing key I want to use for the Deadletter exchange right here. So this is DLX1, and the queue is then DLQ1. So we have them, yeah. So we have that right there. The routing key right here. We need a new routing key actually. So this is the Deadletter routing key. Let us then just have a normal routing key. This could just be my routing key. So. And then I want to go and set, then we have the Deadletter routing key, that's fine. Then we have the Deadletter routing key there, but up here we should just have routing key. So here we have routing key dot this, and let us try to run the program, see if it works or if I goofed off somewhere. There was an error. Let me just check. No exchange. My Q1. Okay, wait. What? Let me just see here. My exchange. Okay, so destination. I think I mixed up the arguments. Exchange bind. I think this is the destination that is the exchange, right? Or is it something totally different? Change one. Let's try to swap these arguments around, just see what happens. Q1 right here, or we could also go read about it, of course, what does it say here. Destination, the name of the exchange. Ah, yes. So that was the name of the exchange. So let's also change it right here. The LX1, that is the destination. And this is the source, apparently. Then let's just run again. If your program if it doesn't end, then it's because it has not reached this line right here, connection to close. Of course, we should try and catch the exception, and then finally we should close the connection as the last line, right? So well, let us see what happens now. My Q1 and vhost. Let us stop again. I'll just early insert a breakpoint right now, and then we will debug and see what happens. Destination, source, and routing key. Okay, let me just check. Let us just check this out. Compiling Java. It takes some time. It should not take that long. Okay, that is the exchange. And I'm using F8 to go one line at a time. Delete, declare, and exchange the bind. And then here we get the error. We'll continue from here. Okay, so this is the error right here. It says No exchange my queue in VH. And it's also because it should actually. It should have. Okay, let us try to swap these again. But that was how we just had it, right? Change bind. What does it say here? Source. The name of the exchange. The name of the exchange to which. Oh, okay. This is from exchange to exchange. Okay. So we should bind it to a queue instead. How do we do that? How can we bind it to a queue? How can we bind it to a queue? Let me just check. Bind a queue to an exchange. Okay, it's called queue bind. Of course. I'm using the wrong method. Sorry about that. Exchange. Okay, there's queue bind instead. Queue bind string queue. Okay. Sorry about that. I'm going to leave it because sometimes it's also nice to see where I goof up. At least that's what I've heard. So it's not just that I'm too lazy to change the video afterwards. So we have here queue bind, and then we have the queue first, and then we have the exchange, and then the routing key. Yes, this was the method that I was looking for. Let us just try again. So we will try to press play again and see this time it should actually work. Yes, now it worked. Let us go to the UI to see what if it actually worked. First of all, let us look at the exchanges. DLX one right here, DLX my exchange right here. Let us look at the bindings. We have a binding on DLRK and then something. This is good. Let us look at my exchange one. We have a binding of my routing key something right here. And what was that was DL. Yes, DL routing key right there. Let us go to look at the queues. The normal queue right here, that's the important part, because it needs to start with DLRK something, and this is really good. So we are actually happy. So now we are ready to send a message. Let us try to do that, and let us see if I remember how to send a message actually. Channel dot something with message or publish. Basic publish, yeah, that was the one. Basic publish to an exchange, routing key, routing key, and then some properties. We do not want any properties, but we need to set those anyway. And then a byte. Yes, this is the one. So first of all, the exchange we want to send to is the default exchange, exchange one. And then we have the routing key. That could be, yeah, then we just take the routing key without the routing key right there. And then we say plus dot my message one, and then the basic properties. Basic properties we just want basic properties dot. Okay, let us create a new one like this. Is this possible? No, it's not. Basic properties. We have this one right here. Okay, we have basic properties builder. Let's try that builder. See if you can build one. Basic properties for us builder. Basic properties builder. Basic properties dot something. Okay, let's just implement it. I remember there was something with this. Yeah, that's too many. Was it? We need this basic properties, but we need. Let me just go in here and look at the publish. Basic public. We have this one. We have the basic properties right here. Because I cannot leave it null. I remember that. So extends. This is actually a class. Okay, it's located right there. Okay, so AMQP, that is the one we want. New AMQP dot basic properties. That is okay. That was actually. So I'll enter. Introduce new variable. my basic properties. I'm not going to have, I don't have any basic properties, but that is if you want to add some headers, etc. On a message. And then we have a byte. This is the body. So here we have the string. We'll just say hello. This is a message created from Java. Yay! Like this. And then we need to turn into to bytes. So get bytes. Thank you very much. And then we published it like that. We could okay. What I actually wanted to copy this part to another class and method. That is actually why I put the connection factory up here. But since the program is actually running quite fast with the queue bind and delete queue and create queue and delete exchange, create exchange, etc. So let me just run the whole program actually. So I'm just going to run it all. But this is where we send the message. So let us see if it actually works. Okay, so no errors. That's good. Let me go to queues. Changes queues right here. So now we have a message down in my queue1. Now I want to see after 20 seconds that this falls down to 0, because it should then be routed to the Deadletter exchange instead of being on this queue right here. So let us see if it goes to Deadletter, to the Deadletter exchange and then to the Deadletter queue. Let us just see what happens here. Yes, now it went down to 0. So it went through the DLX1 and then it ended up in a queue that was bound. Yes, look right there. Oh, it works. I am so proud of myself. We went into trouble midway in this video, I know that, but now I totally redeem myself by actually having something that actually works. Now we have one message in the Deadletter queue. Let us just get the message to see what we actually have right here. And where's the message? Is right there. Hello, this message is created from Java. I am so proud of myself as usual. This is very, very cool. I'm going to commit and push the code, of course, just after this video right here. Thank you very much for watching. Feel free to ask questions. This Deadletter queue mechanic is a bit, it's actually not that difficult when you know how it works, but for beginners and for people that just saw RabbitMQ first time, it might be a bit advanced. But to say it short, if a message times out with the TTL setting, then it can end up on a Deadletter exchange. If a message is too big for the limit on the queue, then it can also end up there. If a message is not acknowledged and not requeued, then it can also end up in the Deadletter on the Deadletter exchange. Yes, but feel free to comment as usual. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon. Have a great evening. Bye bye.